She would go live on Bigo. Solar would come in the room. And he talked about that. Solar talked about that during his testimony, how he used him to lure her back in this last time. The first time she left, she went back to Dr. York's son, right? But then look what he did. When she came back the second time, he made her go live and expose her relationship with Dr. York's son. And he's married. She was a secret. So he did that to kill that situation so she wouldn't have that to go back to anymore.
All right, family. If y'all don't want to come in, we're going to end the stream. I think this is a good stream for y'all right now. Sister, are you willing to come back next week if you get some more information? And you can probably bring somebody with you.
I'll come back.
All right, family. I'm gonna go on once. If y'all want to continue this conversation, we still got some more time. We got another 25 minutes to 20 minutes. I'm surprised Brother La didn't hit the panel. He always got some good questions for the sisters talking about these issues. So I'm gonna try to wait for a little while and see if anybody else hit the panel.
I just really want to encourage people to take the time to research these things. There's a book called Terror, Love, and Brainwashing. There are also a number of documentaries about different cults where, you know, they have experts talk. Hell, just go to Nature Boy's trial and watch the expert witnesses testimony.
All right, we got my man Walt Chow in the building. What up, Walt Chow?
Shalom, big shout out. Sis, you over here dropping some information. I'm gonna tell you right now. I've been talking about this, you know what I'm saying, sparsely with the sexual stuff when it comes to the cult. Like you were just bringing out Nature Boy. I'm a paralegal, so I'm a court watcher all day. I've been watching the whole Nature Boy trial. It is crazy. I'll tell you about it later, son. Say what's up. Say what's up to Elder Sai, yo.
Man, what's up?
Yeah, man. Yeah, we got some stuff to unload, but some of this stuff is actually going to be poignant to what I'm going to bring out in part 2. So, sis, yo, it is rough out here, and not to sound funny, you know what I'm saying, with the whole, you know, rough out here, it's hard out here for a tent type thing, but
It is.
It is, and these cats don't realize how much it's so easy to actually pinpoint a cult over somebody who's genuinely trying to teach and lead people into a positive position. When you start seeing the sexual stuff come out, that's the red flag immediately.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, I got something coming up tomorrow. She is a Hebrew Israelite. Her name is Moshe Yah, and she's gonna go in as well and talk about how some of the brothers use the Bible, brother. All right, War Child? How some of the brothers use the Bible to get women.
That's what Nature Boy did. He used the Bible. He quoted scripture. His whole everything was from scripture.
Well, this sister gonna go in tomorrow on that. Yeah.
Sister Moshe is powerful, yo. I watched her the other day, man. Oh my!
We'll go in. We'll go in tomorrow.
Lovely with that, sis.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. And I heard people say they wanted to see her debate Christina Nick. I don't think y'all want to do that.
Yeah, right. Right.
But I'll pay for that. So that I will pay to watch that one for real.
No doubt. Yeah, that'll be good. Yeah. Let me get my brother La in the building. La, what's going on, man? What do you think about what you hearing with these cults? Talk to us, brother.
Peace. Peace and blessings to everybody on the panel as well as in the chat. Peace, Queen.
Hi.
The question that I have basically is this. These sisters, were they held hostage in the house? They couldn't leave? Nothing? Like,
so, and that's part of why one of his charges is false imprisonment, right? So So the way that it worked, he would constantly say things like, well, if you don't like it, you can leave and blah, 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 right? And there were people that came and went and things like that. But people had to sneak out. People, if, say, for instance, you and I are in the cult, right? And we say we want to leave. So what he would say was, we are now a cancer cell in the body. And so the white blood cells, which are the rest of the members, have to come and surround us. And there's literal video of these things happening, have to come and surround us and attack us so that we can get back in line, And so if a person was trying to leave openly to where the people knew they were trying to leave, it would turn into literal physical restraint. And we heard testimony to that from one of the men that used to be there. Literal physical restraint. They would beat them up. They would chase them. They would hold them down, literally keep them from trying to leave. The young lady in question, the victim in this case, she snuck out while he was asleep. He woke up and she was gone. So, but the night before that she tried to leave, and he talked about it. He said when a woman wanted to leave him, his go-to was to give her the best D she ever had. But with that was also the ideology that as a man, you should not have to ask for pee from your woman. If, like, you just take it, because women like to be R-worded. That was his mentality. And he said that openly. Women like for you to take it from them. They like for you to be rough with them and take it, especially when they're trying to leave you. So.
Okay. With that being the case, Queen, none of these sisters had left, encountered with an uncle, a father, brother, no male figures at all. That's the first question I have. Second question I have is, with all of this being said and done, and on numerous occasions, you just explained to me that women got away. My thing is, how did he get in custody with the police and no family member didn't handle that?
So there were some, like Velvet, for instance, that I think that was her saving grace. Her father fought for her. He traveled to Mexico. That man pulled out all the stops, and that was something that, that's something. So she talks about that to this day, but because of her father, when she finally left, she stayed gone. There are studies on cult members, especially in these types of situations, where one of the things that he does when they come in is that he makes them let go of all attachments. They are not to have relationships with people who are outside of the cult. 2 of those women abandoned children because he taught that the child belongs to the father. So he would damage their relationships with their families by way of making them isolate for a period of time before they could even come over to the cult. And then once they got there, he would literally put those women on camera and have them tell disparaging stories about family members, about how, things that happened with their families that were not cool, things that they shared with him in confidence, that he would, ask them on a whim, and he called them real nigga moments. One young lady, one young lady, she left there and she was hospitalized for months. She left there and she was hospitalized, was getting sick. And he didn't want that to fall back on him, because prior to that, there was an older woman who came there. He told her that he could heal people. And this woman was on heart medication. He talked her into stopping her heart medication, and she felt like she was feeling better based on what he was saying. And that woman died in that cult. No one answered for that.
Wow.
Then, so when Malia started getting sick, he got rid of her, and he made it seem like, because she just won't face her demons. But when she got back to New Orleans, she ended up in the hospital really, really sick. I'm talking about this girl was dying, like her organs were failing. It was really bad. And
What
so
I'm saying, go ahead. I'm sorry
once
for breaking your train of thought. Go ahead, Queen. I apologize.
once she got in the hospital, he reached out again and was like, you can come back and, you know, I'm gonna make you my queen. And so he started love bombing her. He was spending hours on live talking to her while she was in the hospital. And so once her family got wind that he was around, they started trying to tell her, like, don't take his calls, don't talk to him. And what he did to counter that was he told her, if you accept help from your family, they will think that they control you. You need to not accept any more help from them. And in fact, ban them from coming to see you at the hospital.
What?
That's what happened. And while that was so the rest of the duration of the time that she was in the hospital, he was in her ear continuing to work on her mind. But when she got out of the hospital, she went right back.
Wow.
Sis, I'm listening to what you're saying, sis, and it's a lot.
The
It's a lot.
relationship between a cult leader and his followers is no different than the relationship between a battered woman and her abuser.
Yeah,
They use
Stockholm
love.
syndrome.
The problem is that a woman who stays in an abusive relationship, usually there's either something being leveraged, either whether it's children or whatever, housing, whatever, right? Or she's experiencing a honeymooner. Some abusive men are honeymooners, and that is Nature Boy. He's a honeymooner. So during the honeymooning phase, what happens is that at the beginning of these people going there, they didn't see any of this stuff. He didn't announce, I'm going to be putting my hands on you and taking sex from you at will. None of that. He told them, you are coming here to be part of the higher frequency Black people, and we are going to show other Black people how to live off of the land, which
there you go.
Grew not even a tomato. They never owned anything, nothing. These people were living off of fraudulently gained PPP loans. Aaron, he was ex-military, so everyone had to bring, if you came in with credit cards, you gave it up to him. All his money, he literally lined those men up at one point and asked how much money they had given him each individually. They were saying amount like $67,000, $80,000.
Right.
So with that,
hold on, brother La. Man, I hear people saying, well, why did they kept going back? You ever heard of a brother by the name of Hassan Campbell? You ever heard of Hassan Campbell, brother La?
Yeah, I heard of him before.
All right. There's a brother by the name of Hassan Campbell who was like 15, 17 years old, who he claims now that Africa Bambaataa sexually assaulted him. And he would tell his own story that he kept coming back. And then later on in his testimony, he would tell you he was in love with him. He said, I love that man. I'm not making none of this up, because the people would say, well, why you kept coming back? Why you was leaving? He would say, I love that man. I love that man. This is why he never pressed charges on them till this day, brother. He never pressed charges on them, but he claims that he's in this psychic trauma now because of what happened. But he still was in love with Africa Bambaataa. It's the same situation when someone in their mind have been manipulated and they program and they love this person. That's why they keep going back, brother. We can't keep on condemning the person that just kept coming back until you in that type of situation. You know, a lot of us like to judge people, but until you in that type of situation, brother, I'm not saying you, brother La, but
never. Yeah, right. Let's clear that up. Never.
Never.
Clear that up. Off the rip. Never.
I got you, brother. But that's what I'm trying to show you, man. Like, no, Hassan was 15. I got the video, so don't make me pull a video out. He wasn't 12. He was 15. Go look at Queen's Flip video, and he said that he was 15, and he'd been doing this for 3 years. So don't play with me. Go ahead.
Son, my thing is this, and I just want to be blatantly honest. Speaking from a standpoint of an uncle, If one of my nieces was to come home with any type of bruise, anything, I'm pressing that man. I don't care where he is. I'm gonna find a way. He gotta get pressed. My thing is,
everybody's not like you.
To the point where all of these women is hurt and harmed.
Yeah.
And he had men around him.
No, he didn't.
And they allowed that. The same punishment that you give him, give to the men as well.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. But you got to understand, these brothers was not shaped and molded like you. You can't look at them as men. I truly believe that he was in there sexually getting them too, bro. This dude is sick, man. And that's why me and Nepal did our last interview with him, and we was going in hard body on that. Hard body, bro. Go ahead.
Elder Shah.
Yes.
They came there, he vetted them very well. He understood what their situation, what their familial situation was, so that he knew that even if someone was opposed to what they were doing, there wasn't anyone with any muscle who could really fight for those young ladies, right? Or they had not good relationships with the fathers or the men in their lives. And so there were no men to really fight for these women. That became a thing that was happening with, viewers and different people like that who would try to get involved. But they had to proclaim the kingdom with due emphasis. So what would happen is, for instance, say you get on, Brother Law, right? And I'm one of the women, and you're saying to me, like, what are you doing? Like, why are you letting this clown do this to you? Like, right? My job, if I don't want to get beaten, if I don't want to get mistreated, is to absolutely defend him to the point of disrespecting you. So then the people who wanted to defend those women, they would get, they'd get disrespected too. And it's like, little by little, the audience became complicit in abusing those women too. He would literally let them see the comment section because he controlled the narrative. And that's what I said earlier. Thank you so much, Miss Tiffany. Velvet's father fought for her. He fought tooth and nail for his daughter, but he was the only father that any of them had. The victim in question, she comes from a single mother home. Her sister, and there is video of this, a check had came for her, and so he allowed her sister to come to bring that because it was money, and she came with her husband, her twin sister. And there's video of her twin sister literally almost begging this man, hey, look, since if you're in my sister's life, then you're my family too. I just want to be in relationship with my sister, please. This man outright said, I'm leading a cult here, and anybody who doesn't follow my teachings cannot be like, we don't keep communication with that. This is her check, it belongs to her, so we just came to get that, but we don't really want you around like that. The sister was crying, pleading with this man to let her have a relationship with her twin sister.
Hey, Shy, can I say something?
The next question I had.
Real quick.
I'm sorry.
Somebody like that need to be terminated. That's it, man. That's Brother Lie. Go ahead. But somebody like that needs to be terminated. That's all.
You got to understand, Brother Lie. He wasn't allowing men in there like you or me, like strong men. No, you would be a threat. He can't. You got to get them weak, soft-hearted, feminine men. It wasn't. No, come on, man. In there watching this happen to women.
That's right,
brother. You wouldn't have been able to join that, even if you said, "Yo, I want to just go in there and see what I can do to get these sisters." You wasn't coming up in there, brother.
Right.
Right.
You're gonna break this thing.
At all.
Now, I won't say that all the men were weak because, for instance, Aaron, he was I'll tell you why. He was ex-military, right? He came into their life. They were all younger than him. I will say that. All of these men, Aaron was just coming out of the military and was trying to figure it all out, right? So when he came over and he talked about this, everything was peaceful. Like there was no violence. There was no nothing. And initially it was, first his rhetoric was the Black woman is God. Then it was, we are all collectively gods. And that somehow morphed into, I am God and you all are cells in my body. That part of it didn't last a really long time because he was arrested shortly after. But Aaron he's not a weak man by any means. The thing with Aaron, though, was that he paired him with a woman because he controlled the relationship and also encouraged the men because his ideology was that during slavery, the white man used Black women against Black men. So Black women, especially lighter complected women, even though all his women were light complected, especially lighter complected women were wives of the white man, and you had to beat the white man out of her. And so Aaron ended up having a child with one of the women there. And I believe that for a large portion of that time, that's what kept him there, because he had his child, his son was there. And if his wife wasn't willing to go, however, he would take the women from, like, sometimes he'd be like, you got to be with her. Y'all got to be together. But if you were a light complected man, you had to be with a dark complected woman, and vice versa. And so he would give the women back to the men and then take them back at will. And so during the time that he took Kendra back as a wife, she was not allowed to interact with her child. Aaron had to be 100% responsible for that baby because the child belongs to the father. So
I get what you're saying, brother Lot, but I want to say this: that guy's a master predator, and what a master predator need is extermination. See, all of this stuff we talking now, I'm just
exactly my point. That's all I'm saying. He should have never.
And I just want to say peace to everybody who's listening. I do want to add, not to mention that Nature Boy had, I forgot her name. Fufu was her nickname. He had her terminate not one, but 2 pregnancies to prove her love for him. But they weren't even his. Those babies weren't even his. They were pregnancies from a man that she was in a relationship with. And Nature Boy wanted to take her over from the man. And she got pregnant. And then the guy and Fufu agreed that she could terminate her pregnancy. The guy did. But of course that hurt them, so they got pregnant again. And then Fufu made the decision without the guy the second time, from what I recollect. So there was a lot of very, very damaging trauma and manipulation going on. So I appreciate this young lady, Ray, coming in and discussing this. To see the amount of people who are like, well, what did he do? There's so much work that people need to do as far as the protection of women, children, and the vulnerable, which are men who are vulnerable. So anyway, let me just start this again.
Made it to jail.
I mean,
he should have never made it to jail.
I used to say that all the time.
That's it, though. You know, so if you there amongst that, I don't care if you're a man, if me a lie or something, there, we gonna handle it as be. I mean, I don't care. So that's what's happening. A super predator needs to be destroyed. So I'm not much of judging people, but I'm not gonna let people just, you know what I'm saying, hurt other people in my presence like that. What you talking about is something out of a movie. You know?
Sonetta, I promise you this. He will never see GP.
Right.
He will not.
He will never see GP.
Right.
Not after this trial.
In a situation like this, there is no general population for him. They're going to forcefully put him in protective custody.
Yeah, but see what you're failing to realize now, Brother La, is that is your Muslim brother. He have taken his shahada, brother.
He went to the jail and claimed.
Sonetta, respectfully, Sonetta.
Listen to me.
Go ahead.
Have taken his shahada, Brother La. According to the Muslim faith, all that he have done in the past have been erased. Now he have a new, according to Islam, according to Sunni Islam, he is now your Muslim brother, Brother La. What you gonna say about that?
Sonetta, what I'm going to, go ahead, sister, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say that doesn't count because he's still not, there's no contrition there. I believe that is true, that if a person comes into whatever faith, right, that, you know, there is a scripture that says there's therefore now no condemnation, right? Okay, all right. But there's no contrition. There has to be contrition. A person has to be truly sorry for what they did. They have to truly feel remorseful, really see the wrong in what they did. And he doesn't. He doesn't. That's why he's still claiming innocence. And that's why he's still got all these people caping for him, because he's still claiming innocence, knowing what he did.
Facts.
Also, he did not take his shahada up because that was his cross to carry and it was genuinely his to carry. He took it up because he understood where his alliance as a black man in jail needed to be if he wanted to be safe. And he thought that this trial happened.
And that's the key, Sonetta.
Yeah.
That's the key right there.
But here's the goal.
Hold on, Sonetta, because you threw something out there on a pretense of me being a Muslim, which is very disrespectful.
No, sir. No, sir.
What I'm going to say to you, Sonetta, is this. As a Muslim, most Muslims that go to jail, they use their shahada for protection. That's what they do.
Okay.
It's not free willingly bringing yourself to the deen.
I got you. So now let me answer you. Here's the
thing, brother.
Here's the thing, brother. I mean, no disrespect to you at all. I'm going strictly by what the Quran and what the Hadith say. Now, once a man take his shahada, you're not the man to judge him. The only one that can judge him is
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
That's it. And so once he take his shahada, you have to forgive him for everything that he has done in the past. No, sister, I'm with you. I know it's crazy. I'm only telling you from a religious perspective.
But wait a minute. But even based on that, okay. Even based on that, we have to understand. See, we got to eat the whole loaf, right? And I understand the Quran has a lot of principles that are biblical. The Bible talks about God, Allah, weighing the intention of the heart, the seat of your heart, your intention. So all that means nothing. You cannot use biblical, or because he used the Bible to manipulate these people. It was all biblical. He claimed to be Jesus Christ himself. You know what I'm saying? So I cannot expect the people that believe the way that he believes, that now he's a Muslim, that they're supposed to just let go of everything, because I'm sorry, but I don't believe God himself has, because in order to obtain forgiveness from the Most High, it takes a contrite heart. It takes for your heart to be in the right place. So I'm not going to, and not only that, but as a person, as a believer, you have a right to judge something that you see, not judge as in, and we got to be real careful with this judgment word, right? Because me judging somebody is me dropping the gavel on somebody and saying absolutely, hell, whatever. That's not what we're doing. We're judging what they're doing right now as they're living.
Hey, Captain, you on the wrong, did I send you this link, Captain?
Yeah, I clicked the link you sent me on the email.
Oh, this is the wrong link. My bad. Get out of here,
okay,
y'all.
No sweat.
Get out of here. I'm gonna send you the other link. My bad, brother.
So why are you sending them out of here for, though?
No, because we got a debate coming up. We got a waiting coming up on the other channel. It's set up. I'm gonna send it to you,
Captain. You see how he do, right? You see him, Captain, right?
I see him, brother.
Yeah.
I see you. All right, I'm going. All right, I see you.
Peace,
2 minutes.
I know. I'm going right now. Hey, family, I want to say thank you, my sister Ray.
Oh, there you go.
And we're going to part two. It was getting hot. And I'm only coming from the scriptures, brother. I mean, no disrespect to you or nothing, brother. You know, I like to keep it real on the scriptures, brother.
Indeed.
I've been taught, you know.
Wow.
That's right.
If somebody does not want to, you sitting there finessing them can be looked at as coercion. All it takes is the right set of circumstances. All it takes is the right.
I'm so glad I scrolled right to where I need to do. So I want to say again, thank you to this woman for coming in, this mother, this wife, daughter, sister for coming in and talking on this. And she's been on before. She was on Senator before. I really wanted to stream her presentation on my channel because I like what she says. She's always so right about Nature Boy. It's very, very disturbing to hear some people who are not locked up right now saying, well, why is he in jail? Or what did he really do? Or couldn't those women leave? So I think this is the part where we hear her addressing someone talking about he didn't grape them. And that's the R word. He didn't grape them. They just were, you know, he was just finessing. That's different. Okay, so let's hear what she says.
There are documentaries out about these things. Research, educate yourself. Don't just sit and argue back and forth or want to have your opinion because you feel the way you feel. Don't go based on your feelings. Go based on what you know. If you can't give me some research, if you can't give me something you studied for the reason for your opinion, if all you got is your opinion, that don't mean nothing to me. I'm talking to you about what is statistically proven. I ain't talking to you about no opinion.
Tell him, sister. She's going to talk.
All right, family. If y'all want to get this in right away, because I got to leave at 2, guess what I got coming up at 2? I got a good surprise for y'all. I got Captain Tazariak taking on the brother that we met one day in the park. Right now, he's in Israel and asking the question. The time is now.
Somebody said real quick, somebody said the legal definition of grape is not finessing. We're not talking about finessing here, but let's talk about the legal definition of coercion, because there is grape by coercion. When somebody does not want to, you sitting there finessing them can be looked at as coercion. So you keep on finesse your way all the way to jail.
I love what she says that, but let me just expound on that to make it clear. When a woman is finessed, meaning if she's sweet talked, you know, if he sweet talks her, that is not grape. However, in this context is what Sister Ray is talking about. These women are under strong delusion. They are experiencing Stockholm syndrome. Literally, they're locked. They're not allowed to leave. He's telling them that they're doing the type of cleansing, that they're toxic. That's why they want to go back to the world. He keeps them there. He holds them there. They even get physically punished by him and other cult members, and their minds are not. It's like the whole idea of someone underage who can't make a sound decision about being consensual in a sexual relationship. You can equate that to these women who were at living with Nature Boy. Peace, Cedric. Nice to see you. So in that case, we're talking about people who are not mentally sound, who are not capable of making sound decisions. And yes, they all exactly atmosphere 110%. And so I don't want to confuse, and she's on the same page with me because she's discussing the situation of these women being in that cult. And being in a cult, sex is often used to control and manipulate, which pretty much are synonymous, right? So finessing is not grape. It is not the R word. Finessing someone. It's not good character to, swindle someone's panties off or draws, whichever way you're going to go. I said draws, but underwear. But being serious, this is definitely a situation where his finessing was not even finessing. It wasn't even finessing. It was mind control, often force, physical force, and threats. Now, if you're threatening someone, like, you may not even have to use force. If you tell somebody, oh, I'm going to KILLU, or you're going to get so-and-so KILLED if you don't do this with me, that is grape. Okay. It may not be a physical force, but you're threatening someone and you're threatening to harm them. You'll say, well, do you want me to harm you if you do? That's definitely great. But if you're just like, ooh, baby, you're the most beautiful girl I've ever seen. Oh, I never met a girl like you. Now that's finessing. And in a normal situation, meaning like not in a cult situation, not a cult leader like Dr. York, Polite, Nature Boy, Jim Jones, what is it? The Branch Davidians. Remember that one? Different cults. There's Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Shout out to Brother Khalil Amani. So yeah, I just wanted to get this on my channel because I really enjoy this sister when she comes in. We don't see her often. But yes, the trial of Nature Boy is going on. Pressuring someone into sex definitely is a form of force, also known as the R word. So when you pressure someone, well, hold on. Let me dog. Come on, hold on, Nepal. Let me back up a little bit because I got to be balanced and true. I'm still thinking on the mindset of cult. Now, pressuring someone into sex is not always the R word. Okay, but it is a form of force. Now, you might say, well, forcing someone into sex is no, because they still consent. They consent. Now, see, I want to separate it from the cult leader situation, if I can. Let me go away from Nature Boy, far, far away on the other side of the world. So we're in Antarctica and Nature Boy is in the Arctic. He's in the North Pole and we're in the South Pole, right? So now, if you are a teenager, male or female, because this is new age, right? We're not just talking about men. And there's a relationship where one of you is saying to the other, come on, do it. Come on. Don't you love me? Oh, you don't love me. You don't love me. If you love me, you would do it. Come on. You said you would wait. So you said we have to wait 2 months. It's been 2 months. Come on. I'm going to leave you if you don't. No, because you know what? There's somebody else who loves me. So I'm going to give you one more night. And if you don't do, now that's a form of pressure. If the person says, okay, that's not grape. Is it good character to do that to someone? Definitely not. Is it unfortunate that the person goes ahead and gives in? They let him or herself down? Yes, but it's not grape. Now, I took it all far away from Nature Boy. Now, let's go back over to the other side of the world and let's go where Nature Boy is. If Nature Boy is like, you have one more day to do this, and you already know as a cult member that you've seen people getting beaten for it. You've seen people have been told go have an abortion. You've seen women being ostracized in the group and given the cold shoulder, treated like a pariah. You just mental abuse, breaking them down, and you don't want to be that person. So that kind of pressure is force, and that kind of pressure is grape. Why is it the R word? Because he's working a system. I better say that 3 times. He's working a system. One more time. He's working a system of manipulation, and he's working a system of control that is very destructive. This system, which is very destructive to the minds, the emotions, and the actual present physical lives and future lives of these women and men. So that is a form of grape in that scenario. So I hope I cleared that up. So I've heard him say numerous times a woman isn't graped. Oh, yeah. That's another thing he does say. Oh, that's your mother's people, son of man? Whoa, wait a minute here. Whew, son of man, your mom is in Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult? Because we have a very, very well-known person in our community, and actually part of the HOK, you could say. He's a very good friend of Sonnetter's, and he is he's a former cult member of the Yahweh Ben Yahweh cult. Son of man, would you like to come in and do an interview with me? I'd be very interested, or even if your mom could come in, because it'd be nice to get both sides of the story, right, family? We've heard the very, very scary side of that organization from Brother Khalil Amani. So Son of Man says, still is Napasha yet the Yahweh Ben Yahweh? Oh, he says she still is. Yes, the Yahweh Ben Yahweh, that's where I branch off from. Really? Oh, I gotta give you my email. You want to come in right now? Because you got to come in and do an interview with me. If you don't want to turn on your camera in that situation, you do not have to, because I really want to speak to you. Please let me give you my email in the chat, napashada1@gmail. I want you to really think about coming in. I want to talk to you. And even if you don't want to come in, I want you to contact me, because I'd like to talk to you and your mom. Because so far, son of man, I don't know if you've heard, Khalil Amani, he was like one of Yahweh Ben Yahweh's like close members. Like he says a lot of stuff. I don't know if you want to come in and clear that up and say, okay, maybe even get you to sit down and talk to him. He's a wonderful brother. He's very personable, very intelligent. He's a survivor. He's a very loving person. So he's an author. So he's got a couple books out, I think 2. I would love to bring you on. What do you think about that? If you could just take my email down, and yeah, that would be interesting. Yahweh Ben Yahweh, or no, Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Let me see if I can find some of his videos, brother. Let me stop sharing this. Yes, I think he did. I know he did an interview on one of the channels, Cam Up. So let's go to Cam Up and let's see Khalil Amani. Oh wow, I would really love to talk to you, Khalil Amani. Here he is. Excuse me, I'm gonna let you see it. All right. Yeah, it's Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Let me see. Yahweh Ben Yahweh. Yeah. So let's go with the first one. Part 1.
Protocols to help you.
Okay, listen.
The transparentness with this brother Khalil Amani. When it comes to Khalil Amani, he don't give a damn what you like. He keep it 100. He tells the truth, whether you like it or not. Goddamn it, that's your sickness. That'll be your problem. But the brother gonna give it up raw. Introduce yourself to the Cam Up podcast, Khalil. Let me unmute you. Let me unmute you.
Oh.
Go ahead, brother.
Hey,
Okay,
Khalil
let's hear
Amani
a little
here.
bit.
Thanks for having me, Sonetta. It's always a pleasure to come and talk to you. Thanks for having me. I'm Khalil Amani.
Yes, sir. Family on the Black News 102 in the Sonetta Studios. Come on and join us. We are over here on the Cam Up podcast. Let me drop that link because I'm getting ready to end the show over there. So come on over here, hit that link. It's in.
Yeah, right. And within about 4 days, we narrowed it down to about 10. So about 40 of them dropped.
Did you make it all the way through?
I'm a brother, yes.
Oh, man, okay.
Of course I made it through.
Yeah.
Of course I made it through. The first night, as they were going over the rules and regulations of what we're about to go to, they would actually cite the rules out of a book. We're not allowed to do this, and they would slap the dog mess out of you. You know, we're not allowed to punch you, and then somebody.
Sakina Ra, you're by yourself checking it all out before you begin to
ask us if we would consider becoming full-time members.
Okay, so that first part you heard, he wasn't talking. He was talking about his fraternity. So let's hear the now Son of Man. I want you to just hear what he says. And Son of Man, I'm gonna drop the link to this so you can watch Khalil Amani, and he does have a YouTube channel as well. So let me play some of an excerpt of what he says when he's discussing his time there.
Members meaning drop out of college because we were both in college.
Damn.
Leave your jobs, leave everything behind, and come and move.
Don't tell me you did it. Don't tell me you did it, man.
Of course I did.
Oh, yeah, you got caught up, and that's what happens, man. You know,
got caught up.
You young.
I was with it. I mean, here again at the time he was brother
brainwashing. It's brainwashing time.
Well, you know, Yahweh ben Yahweh or Brother Moses back in those days, he had the perfect language to combat things such as you're being brainwashed. He would go on the podium and simply say, they say we're being brainwashed. They are correct. I am brainwashing you. I'm washing your brains clean of white supremacy. That sounds logical to me. He's washing our brains clean of white supremacy. I love it.
So let's get back to it. You're in college. He's coming to y'all. He came to you. Let's take it from there. What happens?
He asked us once we got the building, he asked me and my wife if we would come work for the temple. And we both agreed. So I dropped out of college, had a job, quit my job. Same thing with her. We quit. And at that time, my wife was pregnant. My wife was pregnant when she was pregnant before we got married. So when we got married, she was already pregnant. So we dropped out and we moved into the temple and we became full-time live-in staff. Unpaid.
Did you get any income? Paid. Where was your income coming from?
There is no income. There's no need for income.
Okay.
Yahweh ben Yahweh or Brother Moses, we called him Ak Moshe, which is Brother Moses in Hebrew back then. Mm-hmm. Ak Moshe, we didn't need no money because we lived in this temple and they took care of all of our needs, which were nothing, you know, food, clothing, shelter, you know, toiletries, they took care of all that. And we were happy. We didn't have no bills.
Now, I've been hearing things when I would hear things about Dr. York at this time. When did you find out that this man was going around hitting on other brothers' wives? And did it happen to you? Did it come your way?
I didn't find out that until after I left the cult.
Oh, damn.
Now, I'll say this much. Once we were working for the cult, all the brothers had to do a 2-hour guard duty throughout the night, or rotating. So there were times that, and all you did was just sit at the front desk, the front door, big window, you could see outside. Just sit out and watch the street, basically. But I remember many times, 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, walking through the temple, just doing security. And I would see Yahweh ben Yahweh coming out of single sisters' rooms. Some of these women, some of these females were underage.
Oh, man.
And some of them were married women whose husbands had been sent away to another city to start another church.
Okay, so I'll leave
But
it.
when I would see these things in my,
you can go ahead and watch that. I think you'll be interested. Let me read some of the comments. The Nation of Islam is who shaped and molded him before he left and became Yahweh ben Yahweh. Yeah, I think Khalil, I would love for you to talk to Khalil Amani, even if it's not online, which I would ultimately love to have you do an interview. I know you said you'll think about it, and I appreciate that. But even if you don't, I would like to talk to you about your experience, because if your mom is still a part of that, obviously, I don't know if she knows the other side, because there's some crazy stuff that happened that Khalil Amani talks about. I mean, there's some murder going on. I'm just going to throw that out there. But I'm sure your mother is a decent woman. This is no reflection of her, because I have also met people. I mean, I'm shocked that somebody is here in my chat I'm not shocked. I'm excited to have you here. But I remember an Uber driver a few years back, maybe in 2022, I think it was, an Uber driver or Lyft it was, told me, yeah, I'm in the cult of Yahweh ben Yahweh. And he was a nice man. He was smiling and kind. So it's very interesting. It's a new Ben Yahweh. Did y'all see him? No, but the brother did ask me, did I mean the new Ben Yahweh? No, he's talking about the OG Yahweh ben Yahweh, son of man. So he's the one you're talking about. So let's see what Atmosphere says. Nature Boy had a good playbook to use. I never knew these other cults was doing the same as he did. Yes, it's like the same psychological games they play on each other. So, Derek Bennett, thank you for your comments, everybody. And again, Son of Man, did you say, when you said you were in TK, is that the TK that I think you're talking about? That's another cult. Are you talking about Thunderdome Nights here on YouTube? But just a yes or no. I'm hoping. What does it say? Bald. And the new one has no hair. His head is shaved bald. Oh, wow. Yeah, I thought you meant that. Oh, wow. I'd like to talk to you. Can you email me? I want to speak to you. That's a long story. Yeah, I might know. Have I interacted with you before? Like on a panel or something? But if regardless, that's also, I call them Thunderdome nights because it's wild. It's very wild. But and lawless. Yet they say, like on Thunderdome, the movie, they're like, we do the justice and we do the judgments, we do the law, but it's super lawless and wild. But they say that they follow the law. But I'd love, that is also a cult, by the way. Make no mistake. That is also a very, very strong cult. I mean, if they all were in the same place, can you imagine what was going on if they all lived in the same place and it wasn't a virtual community? So he has peace prize and all kind of rewards. Yahweh ben Yahweh, the new guy. Wow, I'm going to check him out, guys. All right, I want to say thank you for tuning in. I just wanted to cover this information. Don't forget that Nature Boy, he is a predator. Don't feel sorry for him. Don't let his mild mannerisms in the courtroom fool you. He is an expert at manipulation, and he needs to be locked up, just like York. just like Polite. And there are a few other people on this internet who need to be right behind bars with Nature Boy, with Polite. One person is Taharka Bay. He needs to be in prison. Another person is Solar Mind. Anybody who is breaking the law and manipulating and trying to destroy people's lives on this internet needs to be behind bars if you're breaking laws. If you think it's okay to do revenge porn and sexually harass women, you need to be in prison. If you think it's okay to tell people, call people whores and tell people that a woman is a slut and a whore and all women are dirty animals like Nature Boy does, like they do at Thunderdome Nights, Torah Nights. They treat women like crap unless the women follow them. If you are Taharka Bay, a sexual predator and a former rapist doing sexual assault on women in your past, like Solomon, if you are a criminal in that sense, meaning if you have assaulted people or offended people or stalked people or sexually harassed people, then you belong in prison, male or female. Okay? That goes for you women out there. Be happy I haven't called your names out, but you know who you are. Talk about your women advocate. If you're a woman's advocate, then you should stay off the internet harassing women. Hello? Are you watching my live? Oh, I'm live right now. I'm going to close it out first. Hold on. So anyway, peace to everybody. Please share the live stream. Please hit the like and subscribe. And thank you for tuning in. Moves like a celebrity. A lot of people love him. Celebrity status, new one. Yeah, like Puffy. He's got another cult, but I'll just leave it at that. Peace to you, everybody. Have a good day.